Backyard inventors are dreaming big and risking it all for their ideas.
It's called the Doggy Doo Tube.
The Doggy Doo Tube.
We'd like to see it replace its poor cousin.
The 2,400-year-old circular umbrella.
Innovation expert Doug Hall will choose one of these inventors to take to his inventions boot camp, Eureka Ranch.
We don't know where to take our product. Our hope is for him to provide direction.
Now, the good news is sometimes with babies, people have more money than sense.
He may say, wow, this is terrific.
It's like a kite.
The chosen inventor will work with Doug to retool their idea before pitching it to a big business. It's a once-in-a-lifetime shot at turning their invention into a multi-million-dollar business opportunity. Doug Hall has invented his way to the top of the world. At least 18 products in your home were shaped by this man. Fortune 500 companies pay big bucks to develop their ideas with his innovation team. But today, he is searching for an everyday inventor to take their invention to market.
When I go to inventors, when I go to the backyards, my job is to leave each one of these people better than I found them. That's my goal.
Doug's first find is this duo, architect and inventor Frank McMahon and his brother and business partner, Jim.
Your invention, what's the name?
Dry squared, dry to the power of 2. It's exponentially better and drier.
So you've invented an umbrella that keeps you drier.
Yes.
Our own investment is in the range of $40,000.
Here it is, the best of the best. If you rotate this and stand like that,
yes,
you are now in the center of the square. And if you hold it with the other hand and rotate it, you're still in the center.
It's a crooked umbrella.
No matter where the rain is coming from, you get better protection with my invention. The shaft is off-center. So when you're holding it here, you're under the maximum protection.
Jesus, I have to keep getting instructions on using it.
Well, this has
Does it have to come with a manual? Umbrellas haven't really changed a whole lot. Now there's issues of wind and there's a multitude of reasons why this thing can't work.
Serial inventor Dave Millard has invented a foolproof way to clean up after man's best friend.
It works 100% every time. That's the great thing about it. It's called the Doggy Doo Tube.
The Doggy Doo Tube.
Doggy Doo Tube.
See, all you inventors, you say these names because you're so used to saying them, but we're a little slow here.
Yes. And this, it looks like this dog had its afternoon dinner. I'm gonna turn it like that, pull up, and then at that point, you lift the bag off the unit, voila.
Next up are Andy and Tiffany Chung, whose expanding family has spawned a new idea.
We designed a pad and a cover that was specific for drying and changing babies after a bath.
Babies have a way of inspiring people to invent solutions.
It looks like a regular pad,
Okay.
but it actually isn't. The mat has a mat cover that's made of waterproof material.
The unique feature is the ability to fold back the material once it gets wet using cleverly concealed magnets.
So these magnets will actually fasten up to the top. We just simply flip it over.
Oh, I see what you're doing. So the idea is then you've got kind of a fresh space.
Exactly.
For many people seeing this, I can hear them saying, have they heard of a towel? There's nothing like talking to people that don't know you to get an honest feedback.
You don't know
What to do next.
what to do next, exactly.
Okay. It's a challenge to sell it in the mass market. Okay? I mean, that's just the reality. I'm not going to bring you to the Eureka Ranch because I don't think it's there.
Speaking to Doug today was really significant, and so it's an idea. We don't want to push it if it's not worth it.
Inventor Dave Millard is trying to convince Doug that his pet project has real benefits.
It's sanitary. Toss this right in the garbage.
Of all of the poop collectors that I've seen,
Have you seen many?
I've seen at least 15. This would be in the top 5 most ingenious ways
Thank you very
to
much.
pick up dog poop. I don't know what it is, but we have a fixation on dog poop. I've seen them over and over and over again. This is truly amazing. It is amazing what you've put together.
Thank you very much.
It is
Doug.
truly amazing.
I appreciate that.
And there is no way that you can come to the Eureka Ranch.
Oh, I'm sad about that.
I'm sorry. Clever engineering. The problem is the world doesn't need it. Those people who have dogs, it's just not that big a deal.
Frank and Jim's newfangled umbrella may also be something that the world doesn't need.
Yeah, I've seen that these things work pretty good by themselves. It's not a broken problem.
We're here to say this works a lot better.
Yeah, see, that's that challenge, the how much. How much better?
Exponentially drier.
Well, that would be a large number, and I like the fact that they've truly made it real. And so you got to be impressed by that. And so they're clearly all in. So I would like you to come to the Eureka Ranch.
Oh,
terrific.
Oh, listen, Doug,
We're gonna make this happen.
as good as it gets.
Oh, I love it.
We're going to have to prove that.
I think we're enormously fortunate to have his
Well, see, that's what we want.
input and his experience. It's as good as it gets. And I haven't even shown him yet how it flies like a kite.
No,
When we come back,
that is not the front.
Oh.
There's the front.
the brothers' invention
Let the rain go!
is hung out to dry.
There's something wrong. We should redo the test.
We're here to say this works a lot better.
Innovation expert Doug Hall
Yeah, see, that's that challenge, the how much.
has chosen brothers Frank and Jim McMahon to take to his Eureka Ranch to try to take their uniquely designed umbrella to the masses.
We're not sure really what's going to happen. The only apprehension I have is there's a lot riding on this.
We have ourselves an umbrella, and the promise is it will keep you drier.
Yes.
At this Inventors Boot Camp, the brothers will have just 48 hours to prove their design of an off-center shaft and square canopy can live up to its name.
How much drier?
4 times.
How do we know that?
I got a mathematical proof. I can show you.
Right, which is a mathematical, theoretical proof. There's a big difference between theory and reality. Now, to be clear, you need theory to drive ideas. Don't get me wrong. But it needs to be reduced to practice. Now we have to find out in the real world if it really does it.
All right.
We have a rain machine set up to come this afternoon.
Bring on all the rain. We came here to be dry.
To keep these inventors on track to prove their design really does work better, Doug's teamed them up with innovation coach Maggie Slavonic. But first, a demo.
It is essentially a square,
Okay.
essentially.
That is not the front.
Oh.
There's the front.
I knew immediately. Uh-oh.
The user harbors the center of the square. If I'm standing with it, the axis of my body,
I can only imagine there's going to be some roadblocks in the way with technicalities. Why is there this peephole right here?
this protects me so well that I need a window to look out and see if it's still raining.
But Maggie needs Frank and Jim to focus on possible tests for the dry square.
Let's talk about demos. We have a rain machine. Here's what I propose. Floor-length jackets, covered in a super absorbent. You've got somebody walking through the rain with a traditional umbrella and with the dry squared. And then we measure the weight of the jacket before and after.
Excellent.
What about wind? So we've got a wind machine, and I'd like to test the inversion of when it flips over versus a traditional umbrella.
This won't invert.
Okay, good.
In the wind.
Good.
I'm energized because standing here today, I think we're convinced we can go and prove it according to the parameters that we've outlined, and that's what we're going to do.
We're going to go to extraordinary lengths. I mean, it's a circus sideshow with rain machines, wind machines. We get the typhoon machine. Crank her up.
The first test puts the dry squared umbrella versus a regular umbrella in a simulated windstorm.
Okay, here we go.
The regular umbrella
There it goes.
collapses at 23 miles per hour.
Okay, 23.
Next up, Frank and Jim's dry square
Oh, whoa, you can feel it.
is immovable at 30 miles an hour.
Eureka! Eureka!
But how will it fare in the rain?
Let the rain go.
Ordinary raincoats have been kitted out with absorbent cloths that will soak up the rain.
You gotta love it.
Oh, you have to love it.
How could you not love it?
The coach will be weighed and compared
You see the way his head is really much more evenly distributed in the coverage?
Covered.
to gauge if the square design combined with the off-center shaft really keeps a person 4 times drier.
Okay, now we gotta measure.
I think it was very positive. The wind stress test and the rain test all yielded slightly different data,
174.1.
and that data will now be analyzed to support a conclusion.
89.3.
Back inside, Doug reveals the results.
On the wind inversion, significantly stronger. Yes, no doubt about it. With regards to the rain from above, we didn't win. Statistically, there's no difference. From a 4 times drier to no drier, That's a distance.
The nature of the rain we were making fluctuated from one walk to the other walk.
That's what happens in the real world.
There's something wrong. We should redo the test. Because I don't believe the results.
Maybe we shouldn't reach for the stars and say, is it X times better? It's better.
We had wind and rain. That's what you use an umbrella for, and it didn't keep you drier. That wasn't worse. It wasn't better. Tomorrow morning, we have a consumer test. We'll bring the rain machine again to see what happens.
I'd like to see those results. I was disappointed, but we're not down yet.
We've had a very full day, and we've collected information that now has to filter a little bit.
They're very surprising.
What is?
The results.
Yeah. We'll talk about that.
Very disappointing.
Yeah.
When we come back,
You're on the perfect diagonal.
Frank, you're not coaching, are you?
Frank talks up a storm to prove his invention works. After 9 years spent creating a super dry umbrella,
It's exponentially better and drier.
brothers Jim and Frank McMahon got to test their invention at Eureka Ranch
Statistically, there's no difference.
and are now back to square one.
Very disappointing.
Today, they get one more shot at testing their uniquely designed umbrella. This time on the general public.
Thank you, everybody, for coming to help us.
If they fail a second time, their dream of making the world a drier place could end here.
I'm a little anxious. If the public testing doesn't go well, we're going to be dropped.
Now, for the first time ever, your head is at the true center of the umbrella. Today, I'm going to leave to the consumers. And based on the consumer's reaction, I'm going to make a decision. We're going to now hold a classic umbrella and hold the new dry squared center point umbrella so you can feel it for yourself.
Yeah, you can notice a difference. More of your body's I was comfortable with it.
You have a more natural stand.
Hey,
You
Frank,
can see the variation.
Frank, you're not coaching, are you? No more talk.
Through the diagonal, you line that up with
Would
this.
you like to
It's-
switch?
It's just reference. And when you line that, the axis of your
Excuse
head
me,
is in the center.
Frank.
I'm answering a question.
And it's like, Frank, we're doing research here. They're not going to answer any more questions, okay? We want them to just experience it. Unless we're going to pack you with every umbrella, we can't do that.
I like the dry square. So protected front and back or sideways. I kind of liked it.
Really heavy, kind of awkward, I guess, because you're used to the center one.
Which umbrella do you think would be more comfortable? Dry squared center point, classic umbrella, or somewhere in between?
The team has tested the umbrella with the public for comfort. Now it's time to retest its ability to keep a person drier.
Just seen it in action, it was like, it wasn't really much different than the other one.
I thought it was actually a really good idea because when you're walking with an umbrella, you're kind of always trying to get yourself in the right spot so that you're not getting wet.
At the weigh station, the raincoats are compared.
1333.5, 3075.1.
Same results as yesterday.
Exactly.
It makes no difference.
And back at the ranch, it's time for the brothers to face the facts.
We have now tested this product a number of times. And every single time, including today, people are absolutely no drier.
I'm totally mind-boggled. I cannot understand how those results have come back again.
I have a question. Data collected this morning. It's unlikely that they were identical mirror images.
You were 1 gram drier. I've learned over many years that when you've got bad news, just state the facts direct. Now, we also asked them which was more comfortable to use. And 4 to 1, they said that your umbrella was more comfortable. So, option number 1 is to take the umbrella, get rid of the name, and make this the world's most comfortable umbrella to hold. And you are not allowed to make any hint, any suggestion that a person will be drier. And if you do that, you can present to the executive tomorrow. Option 2, you don't agree, and we're done.
Surprised and disappointed. It's a drop. We had aspirations that are not justified by the testing that was done. Can we talk privately for a few minutes?
I'll be back. The CEO, I've got to make a call. And I've warned him that there might be a little blip. He might not be needed here.
At the Eureka Ranch, brothers Frank and Jim McMahon have had to face tough reality about their invention, the dry squared umbrella.
People are absolutely no drier. Get rid of the name and make this the world's most comfortable umbrella to hold. And if you do that, you can present the executive tomorrow.
After almost a decade spent developing a dryer umbrella, they now must decide.
Do we have a decision? Are we changing the name, or are we not? Yes.
Done. We've come far too far to turn away from the gate at this point. And at some point, you have to either fish or cut bait. So that's what we're going to do.
It's pitch day.
This is a big moment, big time. And so now it's showtime.
Frank and Jim will pitch their invention to Mark Hartwell, the CEO of Licensed Golf Gear. He himself has invented a niche umbrella for the golfing community that launched his company into the big time.
The conventional classic umbrella has the post in the center. The zone of maximum protection is working more for the post than for you. What we've done is developed a design that corrects that, so that when you're using it, you can be in the center harbor. We've dubbed this Comfort Squared because it's more comfortable to work with, and we believe a better umbrella.
My question is, we've got an offset shaft, so we've got more material to one side than the other. Do you feel a weight difference?
There is a tiny weight. It is negligible.
All right, I have questions that can probably be answered with me getting up and checking it out. Is that doable? The handle's symmetric, fiberglass shaft.
See, there is a weight difference.
There is. I mean, it's going to lean. If the wind comes from underneath, will that break it?
In the testing, it performed better than the conventional umbrella.
It would appear to me as though this umbrella keeps you drier because it's centered. And in your claim is it's more comfortable. Wouldn't that be the better direction to take?
It's an excellent question. We did some quantitative testing that it performs in the dry category similar to the regular umbrella. And so we cannot say to you that it'll keep you drier.
I think the consumer messaging, that's everything. But we don't have that luxury of having you there.
Did Doug ask you to say that?
No.
It's been an incredible 48 hours with these two, and there's lots of vigorous conversations, but the conversation needs to come to an end. And Frank and Jim need a yes or a no.
The claim is a challenge. I would love to be able to go talk to the consumer right up to the retail buyer and say, listen, this will keep you drier. It's the primary reason to buy an umbrella is to stay dry. So that's an issue. But thankfully, I have a little bit of a precedent. We built a multi-million-dollar business on an umbrella that fit a niche. And I'm going to give you guys a yes.
Wow.
It's going to take some work, but I think you guys have done that.
Well, we did it with Eureka, and so let me say this. Eureka!
Did he pay you to say that?
No, not at all.
No, sirree.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
Yes to me means we're going to go back and we're going to look at it and say, can we take it to the next level? And to take anything to the next level, you need something new, unique, and different. Our task now is just getting that done and putting it in those retailers.
In the history of the Eureka Ranch, we've never had a product fail more tests in 48 hours than this umbrella did. And it was a miracle from the ashes that it became basically a different umbrella.
And to come up and do something new on something that's that old is a challenge. I congratulate you two.
We're happy, we're elated, we're excited.
It's pride-invoking. I'm as high as a kite. I think I know now what it's like to stand on a bit of a rainbow.
Visit us online, WNetwork.com/backyardinventors.
Lad dig ikke snyde af det nordvestlige USA's charme.
It is truly one of the most dangerous stretches of ocean anywhere in the world.
Hvert år er kystvagten ude til over 700 eftersøgnings- og redningsopgaver. I et område, der fortjener sit rygte. Som Stillehavets Kierkegaard.
They would have died if we didn't help save.
Coast Guard Pacific Northwest, onsdag kl. 21. Ny og eksklusiv på Viasat Explore. På land og til søs. Er fejl ikke tilladt. Det er en kamp for liv og død for at blive den bedst mulige soldat. Kun den bedst egnede overlever. Specialstyrker. Fredag kl. 21 på Viasat Explore.
After a relaxing bath, you pull the plug and the water goes down the plug hole. But which way does it spin? You were probably told that the direction it spins depends on whether you're in the northern or the southern hemisphere. So where better to check this theory out than the equator? First, fill a pan on the south side of the equator. Pull the plug from below and the water drains. Clockwise. And on the north side of the equator, the plug comes out and the water drains. Anti-clockwise. And what happens when you're bang on the equator? Straight down? Well, sort of. So what exactly is going on here? Is there some scientific force at work? Weird Science goes into the bathroom to investigate and reveals what happens when weird science goes bad. So there you are in the bathroom, getting ready for a hot date. As you pull the plug, you vaguely remember learning something at school about how the direction of spin in the draining water is determined by some mysterious force that you can't quite remember the name of. And it somehow relates to whether you're north or south of the equator. Well, the mysterious force is called the Coriolis force, and it's to do with the daily rotation of the Earth, which spins on an axis between the North and South Pole. Standing on the ground, you don't notice this rotation, but it has a bizarre effect on things not attached to the Earth, like planes, clouds, or water. The Coriolis force deflects things in the southern hemisphere to the left and things in the northern hemisphere to the right. It's clear to see that air flowing around a hurricane in the southern hemisphere is deflected into a clockwise spin, and hurricanes in the northern hemisphere spin anti-clockwise. But there's a problem in our bathroom. The Coriolis force only works on big things, massive cloud systems like hurricanes or huge bodies of water like ocean currents. Even tornadoes aren't big enough to be affected by it. So not surprisingly, it won't have much influence on the water in a basin. So why does the water spin down the plug hole? One factor is the internal movement of the water in the basin, left over from when you filled it. These tiny movements are normally invisible and take a long time to die down. When scientists tried to detect Coriolis effect in a sink-sized vessel in the 1960s, they waited a week after filling it to be sure their water was truly still. The spin can be affected by which tap is used to fill the sink, which is turned on first, whether it's completely symmetrical or installed on a perfect horizontal. Even the tiniest list will influence the direction the water drains. So what about the demonstration at the equator? It's definitely not the Coriolis force causing this pattern of spins. If the theory was right, these basins would be spread around the globe, not in the same washroom. So next time someone tells you some bad science about plug holes, you know where to stick their theories.